This is New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, with Ken Rosado and Shirley Nalica, Heather O'Rourke with traffic, and Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News this morning.
Stranded in the snowstorm, some students in New Jersey spending the night in school because they couldn't get home.
Drivers trapped in cars overnight in parts of the tri-state. Roads shut down, commuters stuck in traffic for hours.
Fallout from the snowstorm. Where was the salt? Where were the plows? The Port Authority terminal overloaded. The mayor responding this morning.
And it's not over yet. A wintry mix is moving through the tri-state right now, as if the morning commute was not going to be bad enough already.
Wow. Good morning to you. I'm Ken Rosado.
And I'm Shirley Nalica. It is Friday, November 16th.
Now, we should emphasize New York City public schools are opening, but dozens of schools are closed or delayed throughout the tri-state. At various points throughout the broadcast, we'll have those scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
We begin our team coverage this morning with meteorologist Bill Evans. Bill?
Well, the storm's still going on. North and west, we still have a winter storm warning in effect this morning until 10 o'clock. We also have a winter weather advisory for snow and rain and ice mixed. Putnam, Westchester, Rockland, northern Fairfield, and even northern sections of Passaic and Bergen to western Essex, Hudson, and Union. Coastal flood advisory till 8 o'clock. High tide is going on right now, and with the wind, there can be some flooding at the coast. The temperatures are above freezing, 42 Jamaica, Queens, 38 toward the Bronx, but below freezing here still north and west where the winter storm warning is in effect. Be careful around trees. Heavy snow, wet, icing now, but the winds are still at 17, 23 miles per hour. You see over toward Teterboro, 25 to 35 sustained. That's our low center right there. See the wind profiles? And our wind gusts have been in the upper 30 mile per hour range. 38 at White Plains. It's been around 40, 45 down the shore to 49 at Toms River. That's tropical storm force winds. Our low is right here. It's leaving going northeastward, but it's still going to swing some snow and ice through this morning and rain as well as that swings on out into the Atlantic. Let's get you out the door. Here we go. We're going to be looking at snow and ice and rain. Have all your gear. It's going to be windy. Temperatures in the 30s. That's weather. Here comes Heather. She's got a whole bag of troubles, too.
Yes, and we're going to talk about 84 both ways commercial vehicle ban in New York, and we also have decamp buses suspended until further notice. Now we'll take a look at the Deegan going north of Yankee Stadium. Stalled truck, that's being cleared away. And then you have an accident north at the Cross Bronx Expressway still being cleared away. A look at the Cross Bronx as you go west at the Sheridan, an accident cleared. This is your Deegan delay. We also have the Cross Bronx, just a mess as you go onto the westbound side into the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. That's because of a crash. We're also finding Gladstone, North Jersey coastline suspended, delays Metro North, Long Island Railroad on or close. Street cleaning rules are suspended. Metered rules are in effect. Ken, over to you.
Heather, thank you. At 6:02, developing right now. Roads are closed, drivers stranded. The cleanup underway after snow blanketed the tri-state. Many wondering where were the plows.
And right now, cars are stranded across the area. Some drivers were trapped overnight in the Bronx, and some students in New Jersey had to sleep at their school overnight.
Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan is live outside that school in West Orange, New Jersey. Candace?
Well, Ken, Charlene, it's actually multiple schools where students were stranded here in West Orange. We're hearing about parents who are just now in the past few minutes getting to these schools so that they can pick up their children, and then they have to go to another school to pick up another child. Again, multiple schools in West Orange had students stranded overnight. We are outside of Liberty Middle School where they had students stranded overnight, just tweeting in the past few minutes that they have made French toast for their students. Now, this is where the principal has been doing an excellent job of communicating with parents by tweeting the situation from inside the school. They realized yesterday afternoon students weren't going to get home, so they packed in the auditorium with games and movies, even pulling out mats for students to sleep on. Now, the superintendent tells me the reason their students were stranded was the traffic on 280. All it took was a couple of cars to run out of gas, stall, or spin out to jam up traffic, preventing school buses from getting to the schools. And this morning, many of those cars remain abandoned on 280, making it difficult for the plows to even clear the roadway.
There's a big accident, not to mention about maybe 15 cars stuck up there as well. That's why we can't get through. And the police can't get through either because there's just you have no idea the abundance of traffic.
Yeah, and you wonder where the plows were. They were probably stuck in that traffic. Now, the district here, they are working to get these students home, but you see this roadway right in front of the school. It is still quite a bit of a mess. So they're working with the Department of Public Works this morning to see when those roadways are clear. Also working with the bus company to decide when they will get those buses back on the roads and get the buses to these schools so they can get the almost 100 students here at Liberty Middle School onto those buses and then get them home. And they'll have the rest of the day off as they try and figure this all out. Live here in West Orange this morning, Candace McCowan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Candace. And this morning, New Jersey Transit says its buses could face more problems getting to and from Port Authority after an evening commute that had people waiting for hours. Look at this. If you were there, you know it was a nightmare. That was the scene last night. Crowds lining up, hoping for some way to get home. Some waited hours and hours, even just looking for a spot to lean against a wall or a line to stand in. New Jersey Transit is urging commuters to have an alternate means just in case to get into and out of Manhattan.
At 6:05, the storm not only triggered massive delays across the tri-state. The heavy snow brought down trees and branches. One nearly hit Eyewitness News reporter Nina Pineda. Take a look.
Ah! Watch out! Watch out, watch out, watch out, guys! Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, to hear her yell like that, to see the tree falling like that. Nina was on the Upper West Side when this terrifying accident happened. You can see on 67th Street, multiple branches snapped, littering the streets. Officials say the combination of water saturation in the ground and the weight of the snow on the leaves is likely what caused all of the trees to fall. A new video overnight shows cars stuck on the roads in the Bronx, people trapped in cars and trucks on the major Deegan. It took people hours to get home, and many still haven't made it home yet. And that's something Heather's been talking about. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller is live in the hybrid section to speak more on this as well. Derek?
And Shirley, you see that video, cars just stranded for hours here on the Deegan. I'll show you where we're standing right now in the High Bridge section south of the Cross Bronx. The traffic is actually moving pretty okay. It's a little bit to our north where they're still having some major issues because of stalled vehicles. But there's been gridlock all over the Bronx overnight. Take a look at some video that a driver sent us. He was on Gun Hill Road near Webster Avenue last night. He says he was stuck in his car for upwards of 8 hours. We also have a picture from inside a BX-10 bus. They were stuck on the Sheridan for hours, stuck so long that some people even had to use a bucket to relieve themselves. That is on the bus. We have some sound from Mayor de Blasio, who spoke on the radio last night and addressed all these issues.
The plows were out. They had their salt. That wasn't the problem here. We had a bit, if you'll forgive the phrase, of a perfect storm of the timing, the intensity.
And so, again, back here live at the major Deegan looking northbound. It looks okay where we're standing, but police are still urging people to avoid this because a little bit north of here, as Heather was mentioning, there is still some pretty bad traffic because they still have stalled vehicles. The police are trying to clear those vehicles. Live this morning in the Bronx, I'm Derek Waller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Derek, thank you. It's 6:08 right now. Many roads north of the city still a mess this morning. Take a look at what it looked like right there during the evening commute. This is on the Tappan Zee Mario Cuomo Bridge. Traffic was moving but going very slowly. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in Tappan, Rockland County. Yes, it's pronounced Tappan, not Tappan, by the way, where icy roads are an issue. Good morning to you, buddy.
Good morning, Ken. And yes, the Palisades was one of those roadways that was completely shut down at one point. Open now, but a nightmare commute for so many people trying to get home last night. This is what we saw when we arrived early this morning. A flatbed truck taking away some of those cars that were abandoned or spun out or had run out of gas, just left on the highway that led to those that gridlock, those closures, and those delays for all those motorists. It was a busy night for that tow truck operator who said he was working to clear cars up and down the entire Palisades.
I didn't see any plows anywhere. I don't know if I caught them off guard or what, but I was talking to a couple of cops, same thing. They didn't see any plows, much of anything, so people are just stuck, especially in two-wheel drive cars, just stuck everywhere.
A tough night indeed. Now the parkway is open again, traffic moving, but there is some wet conditions, some icy conditions a little north. The Clarkstown School District, a little bit north of here, is operating on a 2-hour delay. And we're live in Japan. Marcus Solis, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Marcus, thank you so much. And send us your photos of the snow in your neighborhood. We want to see. Just use the hashtag ABC7NY on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can also find school closings and delayed openings and all of our reports on the traffic nightmare at ABC7NY.
It is 6:09 and breaking right now. We've just learned the identity of the woman killed in a raging fire in Washington Heights. New video from the Citizen app shows flames shooting out of the building on St. Nicholas Avenue. You hear people screaming. That terrifying video of flames in the hallway that you just saw. This all happening around 12:30 in the morning. 41-year-old Natasha Paulima was killed. She lived in the building. 9 other people were treated for non-life-threatening injuries, including a 10-year-old girl. No word right now on what caused it. On the same day the storm slammed the tri-state, the MTA announced it is raising fares by 4% in March as it deals with a looming budget crisis. Proposals discussed at a board meeting include raising base fares by a quarter, but doubling the bonus for a pay-per-ride Metro card, or keeping fares where they are, but getting rid of the bonus. Bridge and tunnel tolls could jump by 8%.
We need enough revenue to keep our system safe and reliable and in good repair. There's no avoiding that.
Put it this way, if it goes to $5, I'm taking cabs from now on. I can't take much more.
Well, the MTA says ridership is down on buses and subways and blames the late night and weekend track work, as well as competition from Uber and Lyft. The board will vote in January.
6:11 right now, and new this morning, questions surrounding possible charges against WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange after his name was used in a court filing from the Justice Department. A Justice Department spokesperson says the filing was made in error in a separate case involving a man accused of coercing a minor. A Virginia prosecutor wrote the charges would need to remain sealed until Assange is arrested and charged. Published reports say Assange was charged under seal.
Let's get back to the weather. You're never more than 7 minutes away from web.
Meteorologist Bill Evans live outside our studios on a windy Upper West Side.
Well, we just had a rare sighting. Salt and sand truck just went by here on Columbus Avenue. And here's what's happening today. We're looking at rain still this morning. It is nasty out here this morning. We've got slushy streets, as you see. Temperatures 37. There will be some melting today. But we're going to be looking at, temperatures today that are also right around 39. You see around Sheepshead Bay, warming up above freezing here. Still below freezing well north and west where there's icing going on with sleet and also snow. But look at these winds. Be careful around trees and power lines. We've been getting some gusts here on the west side. But the heavy wind gusts now with this low that is leaving. So it's going to be quite windy. You see these wind gusts have been around 25 to 35 to 49 miles per hour down the Jersey Shore. So you see we've got a ways to go with this system this morning. We've had some dog walking going on in the rain. Make sure your dog's got its raincoat on, the warm coat, and you too. At the bus stop, kiddos, it's a mess. Be sure to have all your rain gear. After school, the sun will break out. That's weather. Here comes Heather O'Rourke. She's got a whole mess for you, too.
Yeah, so we have 78 as you go westbound out by Clinton, exit 13. You have an accident. All lanes are closed down. It's a car and a dump truck that are involved in that crash. But I want to show you how things are looking. 78 right near 287. You can still see lots of snow in the area. Now, we'll also take a look at what's happening here as we go on to the Garden State Parkway northbound. This is right near exit 116, the PNC Arts Center. Lots of delays there with an accident that is being cleared. And then problems continue on the Deegan as you go north, getting into the Cross Bronx. That is a crash. Alternate side of the street parking rules are suspended, but the metered rules are in effect. Charlene, over to you.
All right, Heather, thank you. It is 6:13. More coverage of the cleanup from the snowstorm is coming up. Also ahead, more details emerging in the GoFundMe scam, how the New Jersey couple and a homeless vet pulled it off.